This review of Nights into Dreams may contain holiday joy and cheer. If any of those bother you, then you have no soul. Christmas time. A time for hot cocoa. A time for good cheers. And it's also time for you to get up for lazy ass and fucking shovel the driveway. At 5 in the morning, you gotta do that. Your dad has to go to work. To be honest, I don't really have that many games. I only play at specific times of the year. But one such game would be this one, Nights into Dreams. Nights into Dreams is a technically arcade action game that was originally released on the Sega Saturn, later ported to the PlayStation 2 in Japan, and then received an HD re-release. I'll be looking at the HD re-release. You play as an androgynous jester who goes around and dualizes with little kids while they're sleeping. Or a better explanation is that two kids, Clarice and Elliot, both have nightmares about events. Both kids run away from their nightmares and find out that they're actually in a dream world called NiGHTopia. In NiGHTopia, they find knights trapped in a jail cell, and the only way they can break out is using their rare idia of courage. Using said rare idia, Knights is able to collect the rest of the idias that the kids have and use it to go fight against the boss in that area. Knights then has to face off against its rival, Riala, and then finally its creator, Wise Man, to help restore peace to NiGHTopia. Oh, also, Knights and Riala are its. They're its. They don't have the ethers. Okay? What makes this story so impressive is that you can figure it all out without words. Nights into Dreams storytelling is absolutely silent. Everything's played through either actions or gameplay, and that's how you can figure everything out in this plot. Oh, but Nights into Dreams gameplay is where it shines the brightest. You go through absolutely beautiful levels with absolutely beautiful music and absolutely beautiful graphics with absolutely beautiful level design. Everything just works in this game. It's beautiful. Nights' gameplay is simply as this. You start out playing as the child and you have to go and find Knights. Once you unlock Knights' prison, you have to fly around in 4 different mares. Each mare starts out as a time attack in which you have to collect 20 blue spheres to open up the capsule that has the emotion trapped in it. Then the rest of the lap becomes a score attack mode in which you get as many of the golden spheres and stars as possible to rack up as much points as you can for a letter grade. If you don't make it to the prison in time, your character will unfuse with Knights and fall over, and all the blue spheres they collected will be gone. I will start out and say this. Knights at the beginning is brutal. While the gameplay footage I recorded of me playing it may look like it's not that hard, it actually is. Knights' main gimmick is that you have to memorize levels so that there's a lot of replayability to it. You also need to remember that you don't need to immediately go to the prison. Once you get the emotion, you're pretty much free to do whatever you want until the time limit ends in that mare. So rack up as many points as you can, because once you do, you're going to get that nice-ass A rank and you're ready to go to the next mare or boss. Knights doesn't really have that much of a versatile moveset. Knights can fly in any direction. If Knights spins around in a circle and catches up with its own trail, it's able to create a vacuum and suck up all of the items in there for points. Knights also has a drill dash in which they go a lot faster, however lose a lot more of their mobility. There are also 2 buttons dedicated to turning around and doing tricks in the air. You can use these when you go through trick loops to get a shitload of points. Or just be like me and hump the wall a lot and get a lot of points. Each stage also has these small little creatures in it called NiGHTopians, which were precursors to the Chow in the Sonic Adventure series. Depending on how you treat them will also change the level a bit too. How, you may ask? Why, the music changes. And I haven't really noticed anything else. You can make the NiGHTopians like you or dislike you if you just either ignore them or hatch eggs for them and stuff like that. You just kind of find these things around in the stage, and if you have time, it's like, well, whatever, I'll do that. Not that important gameplay-wise, but still important to address, because it does show that the levels themselves are somewhat dynamic, at least in terms of audio. Knights also, during quite a few of the levels, transforms into many different objects, such as a bobsled and a dolphin. These transformations add a new 3D element to the flying sections, with the bobsled having a forced bobsledding session, Dolphin having 3D swimming, along with Stick Canyon, which has a rail in which you're in the third dimension collecting spheres. There's also some sections that are dedicated to overhead flying. These little sections are nice additions to the gameplay and mix it up a bit while you're doing some of the mares. The boss battles, however, are a means of criticism and complaint, because you're kind of just thrown into the arena of these bosses without any idea on how to beat them. Sometimes it seems like it's fairly straightforward and you can figure it out easily, other times it's a little bit jarring. Say for example, the first boss. All you have to do is bop him in the head enough times and he'll be dead. But then you have a boss like, say, Riala. You really don't know how to fight it. You eventually do learn a lot of the patterns because they do the attack that you're supposed to do on you. Going off of the Riala example, it will charge up and circle around you to capture you and damage you, which is what you have to do to Riala. If you do, however, screw up, the game will tell you a hint and then will let you repeat the stage. Depending on how quickly you defeated the boss, you're actually given a multiplier to your own score. You may be able to save your C rank and make it become an A rank if you double it. The bosses then become a fight of time attack in which you're trying to get them as quickly as you can to try and see if you can get a 2x bonus. And yeah, it's kinda hard to get that. It's a difficult game, but it's not a frustrating one. You're never gonna be grating your teeth at some of the bosses or the stages. NiGHTS just takes some time and effort to get amazing at. That's about it. Now, as many of you may be watching this right now, you still don't understand why I would play this game around Christmas time. Yes, the snow level is really nice, but it's not the reason why. The reason why is because of the demo disc that originally came with the Saturn. Christmas Nights into Dreams. Christmas Nights is a one-stage demo with a remastering of Spring Valley during winter. It also features minor character redesigns just to fit the winter theme. The demo also features its own storyline, its own NiGHTopian collection, and its own music. With all that said, as it stands alone, Christmas Nights is also a fantastic game. Even though it's a retread of Spring Valley along with the same bosses, you still have a lot of fun playing that stage. The Christmas theme and elements are all pretty much here. It's really hard to not smile when you're playing this stage. I mean, unless you don't celebrate Christmas, but unfortunately there's no Hanukkah or Kwanzaa or Festivus Nights. I would play the fuck out of Festivus Nights. So, what would I like to change about Nights into Dreams, however? Well, the only thing I would like to have is explanation. I don't think a lot of people who play this game on their first try are really going to understand, oh, okay, I don't need to go to the goal just yet. I can keep going and rack up points. No one's ever going to really get that idea. Some explanation is required in this game, and I really think that's all the game needs. Like, really, that's pretty much it. Where's the game solid? Nights into Dreams is a game I could definitely recommend for anybody. It's a very, very fun, action-orientated, fast-paced, silky smooth 30 FPS, yes, it runs at 30 frames, game. Not only would I recommend Nights, I would honestly say that it's one of my favorite video games of all time. Nights into Dreams just has a level of polish and quality that is pretty much unseen in video games now. With extremely fluid, fast, and just absolutely smooth gameplay. It also has a story that's pretty decent, and at the same time, everyone can understand it. Along with vibrant and colorful graphics to boot, and possibly even objectively, a fantastic soundtrack. Nights into Dreams is truly a game covered in polish. It's a fantastic, must-own title. I do not highly recommend you get this. I demand you get this game. You guys need to treat yourself to a game with a level of polish that's still unmatched today. Oh, and also because it's Christmas break and you pretty much don't have anything better to do. Yeah, I've actually had to shovel the driveway that early.